What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a huge breaking trade. I apologize, I'm about 4 hours late. I just filmed this from school. I saw it break during third hour, and at first I didn't really like the trade. I saw we gave up a pitching prospect, and we need pitchers, so I was a little bummed. But then after looking at it for a little, I realized that we got Nolan freaking Arendao for a pitcher that's a project, and he's going to be that for a while. But like I said, it broke while I was in third hour. I've never finished work faster because he won't let us play games until our work's done. So I freaking locked in, got my work done, and then went to look at the trade. But Nolan Arendao has been traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm so excited. We basically gave him nothing. One prospect, like I said earlier, who's gonna be a prospect, and I don't think he's gonna be that good in the majors, even if he is a project. But I mean, either way, we got. Nolan Arendao. This all started out in the middle of about second hour that it was going to be a discussed trade. Nothing was really official. There was other teams in the mix. Because the Cardinals have been trying to trade Arendao for a year and a half. So it's not like this just came out of the blue. They're trying to rebuild, and they don't need a 38, or a 34-year-old. 38 is crazy. But an hour later, boom, they got him. The Cardinals got Jack Martinez, from the Diamondbacks, who went to ASU. He had potential, like I said, but he's going to be a project. So the full trade was Jack Martinez from the Arizona Diamondbacks to the Saint Louis Cardinals, and then Nolan Arendao from the Saint Louis Cardinals to my Arizona Diamondbacks. So happy. We got a stud in Arendao. Like I said, Jack Martinez pitched college ball at issue. He has potential, but I don't think he's going to be anytime good. Sorry, he had a 5.47 ERA in 71.1 innings pitched with 110 strikeouts in ASU in college ball. So, I mean, ASU is a good program, but a 5.47 isn't great. And he was an 8th round pick this year, and we gave up him. And that's it for Nolan Arendao. This was a Mike Hazen fleece job. Build Mike Hazen the statue. I love this move. And the Diamondbacks, in exchange for Jack Martinez, got Nolan Arendao, who had a no-trade clause. Other teams were in the mix, but he waived his no-trade clause to be an Arizona Diamondback. I think it's because of spring training's here. The weather's perfect this time of year. The Diamondbacks have a good team, but so many players are loving Arizona right now. Alex Bregman lives here. He almost went here. Freaking Nolan Arendao wanted to be here, and Corbin Burns. Also, that's part of the reason why the Diamondbacks did get Nolan Arendao, because we didn't sign Bregman. So, I mean, we'd rather have Arendao if we can't get Bregman, and Bregman's a better player, but Arendao is a stud. He's a little on the older side, 34, but that's not terrible. And I don't really think he was motivated in St. Louis, to be honest. I mean, the Cardinals weren't great for most of the time he was there. I think they made 2 playoff appearances, both times, not both, but one time choked to the Phillies. So I think he was just like not motivated because, like I said, the Cardinals haven't been good. They were in a wild card spot for the first half of the year, and then the first game of the second half they played the Diamondbacks and kind of fell out of it. And like I said, Arendao waived his no trade clause, and spring training will be here for him. But think about it. We've Ketel Marte now that we're keeping him. Best decision we've ever made. We have Geraldo Perdomo, Corbin Carroll, and Nolan Arendao in the same lineup with Gabriel Moreno, Blaze Alexander, Jordan Lawley if he can figure out how to hit again. I love this lineup and what Mike Hazen's doing. You know what? Mike Hazen needs a statue outside of Chase Field. This dude fleeces teams and it's not even funny. But like I said, Arendao, Perdomo, Ketel all in the same lineup is unfair. And Lawler, he might get traded for a pitching piece now because he's a super prospect. But he kind of figured it out towards the end of last year. But he struggles so much just to hit. But as soon as you go to AAA, he has been injured. So they might trade him into a pitching prospect. And then John Gambadoro, who I listen to on the radio, has like insight on everything. He said Blaze will get regular at bats, whether it's at third base when Arendao needs a rest because he's not going to play every day. He's too old. He will play most days though. Ketel Marte will get rest days at second. Blaze will fill in their outfield when we need it. Because we have Lourdes, who posted a video of him running with like a glass of 95% full. But he'll get at-bats there. And Blaze, like I said, Lawler turned it on in the second half. But Blaze really turned it on. Extra base hits like crazy. Blaze was a stud. And the Cardinals are paying $31 million out of the remaining $42 million of Arenado's contract. When I first saw it, I thought it was $11 million each, but it's $5 million this year and $6 million next year because he's under contract for 2 years. This is an incredible move. Arenado is one of the best defensive third basemen ever, probably top 3 of all time. He could swing it back in the day. He still can swing it. He's just a little up there and the bat speed's down, but he still can do it. And our general manager just was raving about this dude on the radio. He said that he's gonna be a leader inside the clubhouse, which we want. Has veteran at third base. And Arenado, like I said, is a top fielder at third. This improves our pitching. Like, we needed pitching, which we got some of it. I think we still have some work to do. But defense at third, like, Ihania was good, but he made some errors. Arenado gets rid of, makes 98 out of 100 plays. So that helps the defense, or the pitching, because that gives them the outs they can work with instead of the free outs we were giving last year. And Ryan Thompson, who's a reliever, literally tweeted out today, get ready for double plays with him at third. And I love this. He's an 8-time All-Star, a 10-time Gold Glove Award winner, a 5-time Silver Slugger. This remove almost reminds me a lot of when the Diamondbacks signed Evan Longoria. I don't know if it's the third base and a little bit older, but at the same time, like, Arenado is going to be a lot better than Longoria. I'm sorry. Longoria was kind of at the very end of his career. And Nolan Arendao, he's not at the end, but he's not at the start. He's like 90% done. I would say Longoria was like 98 going into the season. But he had a WAR of 1.3 with 12 homers and OPS of 666 this year with an OPS plus of 87. A little worse than below average. An average OPS is 750, so he's about 100 points, 90-ish, or below that. 13 points below average in the OPS plus department. 100's league average, he was at 87. But if you look like 2023 when the Cardinals they weren't amazing that year, but they were better. And granted, it was 2 years ago, 3 now, I guess. But he had 26 homers, 93 RBIs, and OPS is 774 with an OPS plus of 108. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be that good because that was a couple years ago. But he'll probably be in the 750s to 770s range with 20, 25 homers, 80, 70 RBIs. Nolan Arenado's a stud, and he always brings that defense. And like I said, a veteran in that clubhouse. This is an absolute fleece job. We gave up a project and prospect that was drafted 8th overall. We're paying $11 million for Nolan Arenado. I love you, Mike Hazen. You're not watching this, but if you ever do, if I ever see you in public, I'll just straight up give you $100. Thank you, Mike Hazen, for making this roster better, and I love this meal. So that's the full trade. The Arizona Diamondbacks got Nolan Arenado in exchange for Jack Martinez to the Cardinals, and I love this dude. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below what you think of this deal, and have a great